Hello everyone, today's video is going to be a little bit different from my usual content. There might be some sensitive topics being said here, so just warning you of that. This is a very hard thing for me to just come out and say, but it's really needed to be said and heard by people. I just firstly want to go out here and say, to my dear friend, Keg, I am not sorry for what I'm going to say in this video. To those of you who might be confused by that message, it's nothing to do with them. I mean, kind of, but not completely. Well, Keg, I am not sorry, and I hope you don't take any offense to this. But I can't stay quiet any longer. I just can't, I'm sorry. Okay, to the video now, I guess. Just a quick warning that there are topics in here that people are not going to be comfortable with, I'm sure of that. Be warned.
Alright, we're going to start this video off by addressing what this video is about. So, my friend Keg has a boyfriend who they've been with for a while now. The two of them had broken up twice already, but those are going to be discussed later. So, Keg's boyfriend, let's call him Mick. At the beginning of Keg and Mick's relationship, my friend, who we're going to call Mother 1, knew from the start that Mick wasn't good. Mother 1 had some really bad feelings about Mick and Keg getting together, and I am glad to say that she's correct. So here's a little background of how I met Mick, how Keg met him, and the things Mick used to do the year we met. So I first met Mick in 5th grade when we'd have second period together sometimes. Keg met Mick in the beginning of this school year, and they kinda hit it off. Now, when they first started dating, I didn't know they were dating until maybe a week or two later. Me and my friend group were somewhat recently notified of Mick's past actions. My friend we're going to call Nix came out and told us that he had bullied her in the past. I personally can't stand it when someone bullies my friends, and me and Nix have become pretty close over our time being friends. But unfortunately, I couldn't release my anger to Mick because he is dating Keg. I don't want Keg mad at me for lashing out at Mick for what he did to Nix. So I got consent from Nix to show you our convo about this, and she gave me a recording of her testimonial. Always given consent to be uploaded to YouTube.
So, hello. I'm here to talk about what McKinley has done to me in the past. Um, he has not physically, emotionally bullied me, saying that my outfits weren't good enough, my work wasn't good enough, what I'm doing wasn't good enough, and they were just very wishy-washy, just like off and on. Like, I want to be a friend, I don't want to be a friend, and um. using me for their benefit and what would be better for them. And it was very emotionally hard for me. And anytime we worked together in a group project, he would always just say my work wasn't good enough and we had to use what he was doing. And it was just very emotionally and physically draining for me. And in the end, I did not put up with it. I dealt with the situation on my own accord, but it was very emotionally hard for me, and I'm sure he did that to many others and not just me. And yeah.
This is when my suspicions started. Mick had bullied Nix, and if he had bullied her, there's no telling how many others he had bullied as well. Although I wasn't always fond of Mick, I was able to tolerate him. But unfortunately, he decided to go and make he question everything. All of the interactions he and I have had, all the interactions between him and my other friends. How he acts with Keg, then it all started falling into a messed up puzzle that I was close to solving. My interactions with him haven't been bad to say the least, except for this one time. In our 7th period class, which is advanced literacy, our literacy teacher put me and Mick together for this project we were supposed to work on that day. While I was writing on the paper we were giving, Mick had pushed out some graphite from his mechanical pencil and then decided he would stab it into my back. He did, twice, each time he pressed it into my skin harder and harder. The second time the graphite broke under the pressure. Then he pushed more graphite out and stabbed it into the back of my head. I played it off because I didn't have the energy to tell him off for it. But honestly, it fucking hurt. And there was this one time when I confronted Keg about how Mick had been being quite rude to me and the other people in the friend group. Keg kinda brushed it off by saying it's his love language. And I'm sorry, but be so fucking for real. Being mean to others is how he shows he cares about people. That's not gonna lie, absolutely fucked up. Mick seems to love me from Keg's point of view, and that's why he tends to hug me often. But it still grosses me out when I remember a certain incident from a few days ago, or more like Wednesday of last week. Me, Keg, Mick, my two friends who we'll call Mother 2 and VI, and Nix were all chilling outside because that's where we were stationed. BC testing screws up our schedule. We were talking about something I can't remember, but then someone said something about a real person I think we might have knew. But I'm not 100% sure, and Mick, who was sitting right next to Keg, started saying some stuff about the person we were talking about. And Keg said something about not wanting to deal with having their boyfriend fanboy about this person. Now, it wouldn't be bothersome if it were fictional characters. BC, we all have crushes on a handful. But we were talking about a real person, and it was disturbing how Keg seemed so used to it. Also earlier that day, like literally just a few minutes before the whole conversation, Mick had been talking to Nix, and during that conversation he ended up making Nix hide her face in her lap and start crying. I guess Mick realized that he'd been the cause of this. BC, he tried to help her calm down. But then he had to leave. BC, someone notified him of a backup in their play that they were hosting. Nix moved to sit next to Keg, and Keg started rubbing her back to console her. When Mick was walking back and saw Nix next to Keg, he rushed over and yelled, "Hey, that's my partner." He then proceeded to shove Nix away from Keg so he could sit next to them. He was clinging to them tightly as he always fucking does. Nix went back to sitting next to me and I put my jacket around her. But unfortunately, this wasn't the first time Mick had been overly possessive over Keg. Like anyone could be in a conversation with Keg and then Mick will just walk over and hug Keg and say nope, mine, like bro get over yourself. None of us like Keg in a romantic sense. We're just friends with them. No one is going to steal them from you. You don't have to be so fucking clingy and possessive. Or there's other times when I'm talking to Keg while walking with them, and then Mick will suddenly appear and drag them away from me as if we weren't just having a goddamn conversation. The worst thing about all of this is that Keg is fully aware of how possessive Mick is over them. And I honestly feel bad that Keg doesn't feel trapped. Or maybe he does. I don't know, they haven't told me. It really saddens me to think that I let one of my bestest of friends date someone so fucking horrible. I honestly feel like I failed them. Now, we're going to get into some rather disturbing and very disgusting topics. So, me, Mother 2, and VI were all sitting together after lunch and just talking shit about Mick and how much of a horrible person he is and what we hate about him, etc. Mick, Keg, Mother 1, and Nix were all at rehearsals for the play I had mentioned earlier. VI then says that Mick once whispered to Mother 2 that he'd had S3X twice before. And it grossed me to my core. Why would Mick tell someone about that? Especially if that's someone he wasn't even close with. So then it brought on the thought that maybe he was bragging about it to fit in with the rest of us. Which is fucked up BC known of us have mentioned anything related to that other than stupid jokes. So then we thought that maybe he had been graped, but Mother to reason that it wasn't something that he should tell her BC once again, they don't fucking talk to each other. By the end of this free period, we were walking back to our classrooms, and me and Mother were talking about how if Mick interacted with her one more time, she was gonna punch him. I agreed that it was a good idea. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I ended up telling Keg what Mother 2 had said in a sugar-coated way by saying person instead of using Mick's name. Keg obviously understood what I meant by it though. Okay, so I've gathered up some testimonials from the rest of my friends, except for Keg BC Mick is their BF and well, you know the obvious. I will read them aloud soon, but first I'd like to tell you guys a bit more of Mick's behavior. So, basically, there's this running joke about Keg and I's height. Mick likes teasing us saying we're short and stuff. He even one time pretended like he couldn't see us to tease us. Keg made it pretty fucking clear that the short jokes weren't fucking funny anymore, and I agreed. But then, what does Mick do? He continues to make said short jokes. Keg never seems pleased with them, and I don't like them either. It's a stupid overused joke about something we can't fucking control. So I guess you can say that Mick doesn't think boundaries apply to them. Because me and Keg both tell him to stop, because it's not funny, but he just continues to do it over and over again. He's also very nosy. When I pull anyone away to privately chat with them for literally anything, he comes walking up asking what we're talking about. When I tell him it's private, he acts like I mean I'm going to tell him as well as the person I'm actually trying to tell. Also, on Monday of this week, he mentioned something about dating an asexual person while he's a hypersexual person. It's just so fucking disgusting to just say that out loud. Like, okay? What the actual fuck are we supposed to do with that information, you sicko? Now, without any more info, here's my friend's testimonials.
Okay, so I decided that I wanted to, have my own testimony to say the things that he's done to me. So, well, number one, he's physically hurt me before. As I said earlier, I played it off, but in reality, I know I should have, told him off for it, but, thing is, I know that I am physically weaker than him. He could, literally overpower me in every way possible, and I think he knows that. I think he very well knows that, and, yeah. Actually, today, he actually stated, it was something about, it was something in, gym today that we had, because, well, Atlas testing and stuff, and, he had, told me to tell him something, and then I wouldn't. And then he said, I can hurt you, and I was like, I know, because I know he can hurt me. He can, and he will hurt me. he has hurt me before with that mechanical pencil. And, he makes me uncomfortable because he likes giving me he likes giving me hugs. And it's just so random all the time. And I don't like it. There's also been times where he's, like, thrown food at me. And, like, goldfish. Full well knowing that I don't like goldfish because I don't like cheese. That might be a little controversial, but whatever. I apologize for coughing so much. I'm kind of sick right now. But yeah, no. He has thrown food at me. He has physically hurt me. He makes me uncomfortable. Being in his presence makes me uncomfortable. I don't like him at all. He's given me no reason to like him at all, actually. He hurts my friends. He hurts my friends. He's always talking in this sarcastic, know-it-all tone, and yeah. I don't like him at all. I don't see how anyone could like him, to be honest. And I don't like how he doesn't see how he is possessive. I don't like how he doesn't know that he's overly possessive and jealous. He literally claimed today, on Tuesday, April 22nd, that he wasn't overly possessive and jealous. That was his statement. And yet, this is gonna sound weird, but, my friend Keg, they wore these special green pants that have, like, this nice lined texture on them, and they're really soft. Keg, I don't think minds if I touch, the pants specifically, so I like, running my nails, like, through the small grooves of the pants, and I'll just be, like, talking to them, and, like, doing that, like, subconsciously, because I need to, like, move my hands, otherwise I just cannot focus. And then, Mick will literally just, like, grab their leg and, like, pull it away from my hands. Being possessive and stuff. Like I said earlier, he pulls Keg away from all of us. He isolates them from us. And by us, I mean me and the friend group. I don't like him at all. I don't know how anyone could like him, because he gets so possessive and so jealous so easily. And he's just really rough, and that's really hard for people who are more softer in behavior. Because well, yeah. I don't like him. Keg is soft, as like I'd say. My testimony for them, because they can't make one on their own, because, well, they're dating Mick. My testimony, defending them, is that Mick likes picking them up. Mick likes picking them up, teasing them, but, like, in a really mean way. He likes to, he likes being rough with them and stuff. And he's overly possessive and jealous over them when, like, anyone is nearby. So, yeah, that's my testimony. I'm going to read off my friends' now. Starting off with Vi's testimony. Mick is way too protective of Keg, and it's just really toxic. Like, we want to be near Keg because we're their best friends, but Mick just keeps them away from us, and that's really fucking toxic. He's also really mean to us. Yeah. After they gave me their testimony, I was talking about the whole how he doesn't like following boundaries, and the fact that he continues to do these short jokes even though they aren't fucking funny. And Vi's response to this was like, yeah, no, I don't even tease Keg about their height. Like, I tease them like once a month at most, and it's like not even about their height, because like that you can't control that. And it's like agreeing and stuff because yeah. All right, next testimony. Oh, this is a new person coming in. This is one of my friends. We will call them Hads. All right. Had's testimony. Mick says things, and the way he says it sounds like he's being rude. Hads hasn't been around Mick for a long while, mostly because Mick doesn't interact with anyone besides his friends and Keg. So yeah. Oh yeah, Mother One's testimony. He doesn't know when to stop. Doesn't respect people's boundaries. And he's mean. Basically, that's basically what Mother One said. Yeah, and then here's like some other info that I picked up on. He's really rough with Keg and others and stuff. But like what I find really weird is how he seems to have empathy and like sympathy for people. And yet he doesn't understand that he is overly protective and jealous over Keg. It really concerns me that he can't even see his own behavior towards Keg and other people. Okay. Yeah. It's just really fucked up what he does and how he acts. None of us really like him. I'm going to put Mother 2's testimony up now because they are sending a voice message through Discord. So yeah, that's the end of these real quick. Yeah. Okay, so Mother 2 ended up deciding to type it out instead of giving me her voice message because she didn't feel comfortable enough with the voice message, so I didn't force her to. Anyways, so Mick is honestly such a bitch. He clearly has no other friends, so he's always pulling away Keg in such a bitchy tone. Like, if they can have other friends, hello? He's just one of those common rich brats who think anything they do is right and they can get away with anything they want. Just swarmed in the world of the rich. No idea how the real world actually is. Which, honestly, facts. Something I don't believe I mentioned earlier. Mick is quite wealthy, and he likes bragging about it. There was this one time I remember, he was like telling me to like do something that like included me with spending a lot of money, I was like, oh, I can't do that. And then he's like, oh, why not? I'm like, oh, because it's really expensive. And he's like, oh, I don't have that problem. I'm like, hello? Anyways.
So that basically concludes this video. If there's anything more that comes up, I will be sure to notify you. And as I said, I am not sorry for anything said about Mick in this video. He's a horrible person, and I strongly stand by that. But anyways, my lovely star sprites, I hope the rest of your day is as lovely as the galaxy we live in.